Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. I'm here with John, Sheila, Brannon, and Maggie to do impromptu performances from the Bard, randomly chosen by the Wheel of Shakespeare, which I'm going to reveal right here. There we go. There is the wheel that will spin that determines what we perform based on the randomly chosen order. I am going of the five of us. I'm going first, and then Brannon is on deck. She will go after I perform. Round and round it goes. What is the wheel going to assign me? Mowbray. Oh, good. This is one I just recently added to the wheel. No, I don't think anyone's done this yet. Give me a second to find this one. Okay. Richard the Second. Here it is. Actually, it's Thomas Mowbray, Duke of Norfolk, not the Duke of Mowbray. There we go. Give me a second. This is my reply to Bollingwood. Okay, here we go. Then, Bolingbroke, as low as to thy heart, through the false passage of thy throat, thou liest. 3 parts of that receipt I had for Calais, dispersed I duly to his highness soldiers. The other part reserved I by consent, for that my sovereign liege was in my debt upon remainder of a dear account, since last I went to France to fetch his queen. Now swallow down that lie. For Gloucester's death I slew him not, but to my own disgrace neglected my sworn duty in that case. For you, my noble lord of Lancaster, the honorable father to my foe, once did I lay an ambush for your life, a trespass that doth vex my grieved soul. But ere I last received the sacrament, I did confess it, and exactly begged your grace's pardon, and I hope I had it. This is my fault. As for the rest appealed, it issues from the rancor of a villain, a recreant and most degenerate traitor, which in myself I boldly will defend, and interchangeably hurl down my gage upon this overweening traitor's foot, to prove myself a loyal gentleman, even in the best blood chambered in his bosom. In haste whereof, most heartily I pray your highness to assign our trial day. Okay. Now it is, oh, good. And Henry was supposed to go first, but he wasn't with us when I started, so we'll go to him. Hello, Henry. Glad you made it. So Henry is going to perform, and then Bram is on deck. Glad you made it. Better late than never. Okay, so Henry is going to perform. Richmond, more than I have said, loving countrymen. It's interesting. I think just last week somebody did of the pep talks to the troops before the Battle of forgetting the name that ends Richard III. Somebody did Richard's pep talk. This is his Earl of Richmond's pep talk.
Right.
Begins more than I have said, loving countrymen. And it's Act 5, Scene 3. So whenever you're ready.
I think it was me that did it last week.
yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. I that's coincidental. I mean, I think last week you were. I thought. I'm glad you reminded. I wasn't sure if it was you, but yeah, it was you that did the
What?
opposing opponent's speech in the same battle.
Right. What? So what are the first? What are the first lines?
More than I have said, loving countrymen, is how it begins.
Have you got a sort of line number? Which
I'm sorry, I didn't write that down. It might, and it's different. You know, I think when the stuff I put on the wheel at first, I put down line numbers to help people, and didn't seem to be much of a help because everybody's got different editions. So one that I added more recently, I think I forgot to write that down. But I know it's kind of hard. But take your time whenever you find it. Go ahead.
so it's five. What's it? Act 5, Scene 3, Richard III,
Yes.
and it starts more.
More than I have, loving countrymen.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm making it easier for you. Do you want me to go on and spin for Brandon and then come back to you after she goes? If you're still
Yes, okay, or I'll just do a different speech.
okay. You can keep looking for it while we call on Brandon to go. Okay. So you will do spin for you.
I can see that.
Theseus. Act 5, Scene 1 begins with more strange than true.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll just. Okay. Right. More strange than true. I never may believe these antique fables, not nor these fairy toys. Lovers and madmen have such seething brains, such shaping fantasies that apprehend more than cool reason ever comprehends. The lunatic, the lovers, and the poet are of imagination all compact. One sees more devils than vast hell can hold. That is, the madman, the lover, all is frantic. See Helen's beauty in a brow of Egypt. Glace from heaven to earth, from earth to heaven. And as imagination bodies forth the forms of things unknown, the poet's pen true them to shape and gives to airy nothing, turns them to shapes and gives to airy nothing a local habitation and a name. Such tricks hath strong imagination, that if it would but apprehend some joy, if it apprehends some bringing of that joy, or in the night imagining some fear, how easy a bush suppose it a bear.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. Let's see. So hopefully Henry's been able to find his monologues. Have you found your Earl of Richmond?
Yes, I found it now. Yes.
So good. So Henry's going to go now, and then Shelia is on deck. We'll spin for Shelia after Henry does his Earl of Richmond speech.
More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon. Yet remember this, God and our good cause fight upon our side. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls, like high-reared bullocks, stand before our faces. Richard except, those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide, one raised in blood and one in blood established, one that made means to come by what he hath, and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base, foul stone, made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set, one that hath ever been God's enemy. Then, if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home the conquerors. If you do free your children from the sword, your children's children quit it in your age. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share this part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond and victory.
Okay, that's a good Richmond and victory. Awesome. Okay, so it is now Shelia's turn. And let's see, John is on deck. John will spin for him after Shelia does. Fire low, Holy St. Francis. Act 2, Scene 3. This is just after Romeo tells him he's in love with Juliet when Friar Lawrence can't believe it. I thought you were so in love with Rosaline. Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosalind, whom thou did love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Oh, Jesus Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that of it doth not taste! The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears. Thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. Oh, if e'er thou waste thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Okay, thank you. So it is John's turn, and then Maggie, and then we'll spin for scenes. Okay, so John is going to do. Hospital. Now my charms are all thrown. This is the epilogue of The Tempest.
Oh, okay.
Very end. Now my charms are thrown. Now strength I has mine own. So whenever you're ready, go.
Okay. What happened? Oh. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true. I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bonds with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want gentle happened. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
Okay. Thank you, John. So our last monologue before we spin the wheel for scenes is going to be done by Maggie. And Maggie is going to do...
Can I ask that you stay on until I actually find the lines? Because mine's my little spotty today, my internet.
Okay.
Thank you. I should be able to find this. Okay, 311, approximately 23. Okay, hang on. So merchant. Open it. It's getting there. Open. Oh boy. I'm on the page. Oh, 3-1.
So yeah.
I should have been reading this one over. This is such a famous one. Okay, hang on. I'm in 3-1. Act 3, Scene 2. I'm looking for all of his speeches. None. I don't think it actually starts with that.
Oh, you're right. I think he starts with the...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So start with the stuff before, based the response
right.
about why.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
Okay. So because whenever you're ready.
Celerio has just asked him, what's this good for? And then he says, all right. To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Okay, great. So it is time to let the wheel choose scenes for the six of us on top of the monologue. So the first scene we're going to be assigned by the wheel is going to be Cassius and Brutus. Act 1, Scene 2. Have Lear, Lear and Goneril. I think there's some lines by the Fool and by the Duke of Albany. We just cut those because without just a few, it's we just ignore those. It's the good two-person scene between Lear and Goneril. 1.4, Lear and Goneril. Then hello. Well, that's Emilia and Desdemona. That's Act 4, Scene 3, Emilia and Desdemona. Okay, so the 6 roles for the 6 of us to choose from again will be Cassius, Brutus, Lear, Goneril, Emilia, or Desdemona. And Maggie went last, so she'll have the first choice of those roles. What would you like?
Ooh. I'll take Cassius, please, from Julius Caesar.
John, what would you like?
Lear.
Lear. Sheila, what would you like?
I'll do Goneril.
We'll do Goneril. Brannon, what would you like?
Amelia.
Brannon will take Amelia. I'll take Brutus. I'll take Brutus, and so that leaves Henry will be Desdemona. So Julius Caesar. We'll start with myself and Maggie doing Brutus and Cassius in Julius Caesar. Then John and Sheila are going to do Lear and Goneril, Act 1, Scene 4 of King Lear. And then Brannon and Henry are going to do Amelia and Desdemona. So let's find our... Okay, here's Maggie. Let's find where... Yeah, yes.
We're going to start where it says exeunt all except Brutus and Cassius.
Give me a second. That sounds right. Let me make sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. I think it's will you go see the order of the course starts with Cassius.
Okay, yeah, that looks like the right. Okay, so yeah, and that's your
Tell
line.
me when you're ready.
Yeah, so I'm ready whenever we want to start with that line.
Okay. Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I availed my look, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this age's yoke, hath wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus, were I a common laugher, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Do you fear it? Then I must think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well, but wherefore do you hold
Mark,
me so?
your work.
What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled tide chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of conjuring. river. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye whose bend doth awe the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl." Ye gods, it doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should so get the stir of the majestic world and bear the palm of bone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy. Conjure with them, Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat does this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. Why an age the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man. When could they say till now that talked of Rome, her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but much this show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath preceded worthy note today.
I will do so, but look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train. Calpurnius' cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes as we have seen him in the Capitol, being crossed in conference by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Okay.
And that's
Great.
it for us. Thank you so much. That was
Yeah, thank you. So let's see, it's now John and Shelia's turn to do our Lear and Goneril scene. So let's see, add John and Shelia. Have you both found where to start in this?
I seem to have had it a minute ago. Now I'm foundering again. Is it where who is it that enters? I can't see.
Goneril. You
Goneril
say, "Come
enters.
now, daughter."
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so you're both ready. Go ahead.
Okay. How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much of late in the frown.
Not only, sir, this your all licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots. Sir, I had thought by making this well known unto you to have found a safe redress. But now, grown fearful by what yourself too late have spoke and done, that you protect this course and put it on by your allowance, which if you should, the fault would not scape censure, nor the redresses sleep, which in the tender of a wholesome weal might in their working do you that offense, which else were shame, that then necessity will call discreet proceedings.
Are you our daughter?
Come, sir, I would you would make use of that good wisdom whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are.
Doth any here know me? This is not Lear. Doth Lear walk thus, speak thus? Where are his eyes? Either his notion weakens, his discernings are lethargied. Ha! Waking! 'Tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am? I would learn that. For by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters. Your name, fair gentlewoman?
This admiration, sir, is much the savior of other your pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purpose aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a gracious palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Be then desired by her that else will take the thing she begs a little to disquantity your train, and the remainder that thou shalt still depend to be such men as may besort your age and know themselves and you.
Darkness and devils, saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters. Scene.
Okay, thanks, you two. So, last scene before we call it a day, we have Amelia and Desdemona to be played by Brannon and Henry. So, have you both found that scene? You know where to start from?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
whenever you're ready, go.
How goes it now? He looks. How goes it now? How goes it now? He looks gentler than he did.
He says he will return incontinent. He hath commanded me to go to bed and bade me to dismiss you.
Dismiss me?
It was his bidding. Therefore, good Amelia, give me my nightly wearing and adieu. We must not now displease him.
I would you had never seen him.
So would I, not I. My love doth so approve him that even his stubbornness, his checks, his frowns, prithee unpin me, have grace and favour in them.
I have laid those sheets you bade me on the bed.
All's one. Good faith, how foolish are our minds! If I do die before thee, prithee shroud me in one of those same sheets.
Oh, come, you talk.
My mother had a maid called Barbara. She was in love, and he she loved proved mad and did forsake her. She had the song of Willow. An old thing it 'twas, but it expressed her fortune, and she died singing it. That song tonight will not go from my mind. I have much to do, but to go hang my head all at one side and sing it like poor Barbara. Prithee, dispatch.
Shall I go and fetch your nightgown?
No, unpin me here. This Ludovico is a proper man.
A very handsome man.
He speaks well.
I know a lady in Venice would have walked barefoot to Palestine for a touch of his nether lip.
The poor soul sat sighing by a sycamore tree, sing all a green willow. Her hand on her bosom, her head on her knee, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured her moans, sing willow, willow, willow. Her salt tears fell from her and softened the stones, lay by these. Sing willow, willow, willow. Prithee, hie thee, he'll come anon. Sing all a green willow must be my garland. Let nobody blame him. His scorn I approve. Nay, that's not next. Hark, who is that knocks?
It's the wind.
I called my love false love, but what said he then? Sing willow, willow, willow. If I court more women, you'll couch with more men. So get thee gone. Good night. Our eyes do itch. Doth that bode weeping?
'Tis neither here nor there.
I've heard it said so. Oh, these men. Dost thou in conscience think, tell me, Amelia, that there will be women do abuse their husbands in such gross kind?
Oh, there may be some such, no question.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
Why would not you?
No, by this heavenly light.
Not I neither, by this heavenly light. I might do it as well in the dark.
Wouldst thou do such a deed for all the world?
The world's a huge thing. It is a great price for a small vice.
In troth, I think thou wouldst not.
In troth, I think I should, and undo it when I had done. Marry, I would not do such a thing for a joint ring, nor for measures of lawn, nor for gowns, petticoats, nor caps, nor any petty exhibition. But for the whole world, who would not make her husband a cuckold to make him a monarch? I should venture purgatory for it.
Beshrew me if I would do such a wrong for the whole world.
Why, the wrong is but a wrong in the world, and having the world for your labor, 'tis wrong in your own world, and you might more quickly make it right.
I do not think there is any such woman.
Yes, dozen and many in the advantages this store the world they played for. But I do think it is their husband's fault if wives do fall. Say that they slack their duties and pour our foreign laps, or else break out in peevish jealousies, or throwing restraint upon us, or say they strike us. Oh, scant our former having in despite. Why, we have galls, though we have some grace, yet we have we some revenge? Oh, let husbands know their wives have a sense like them. They see and smell and have their palates both for sweet and sour, as husbands have. Why is it that they do? When they change us for others, is it sport? I think it is. And doth affectation breed it? I think it doth. It's frailty that thus errs. It is so too, and have not we affectations, desires for sport and Bailey as men have? Then let them use us well, else let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so.
Good night. Good night. Heaven me such use as send, not to pick bad from bad, but by bad men.
Okay, great job, you two. Great performances this week from everybody. Lovely performing with you guys as always. The people watching, remember, unless something comes up, which as I'm about to say, it might next weekend. We're live same time on this channel on YouTube every Saturday at noon Pacific time. Although next weekend I haven't decided anything yet. I'm likely to be in Bakersfield seeing family, so I'm likely to cancel it and be 2 weeks from today. But I'm not nothing's set in stone. So watch the people that are on our email list and so forth. The people that play, be looking Thursday or Friday for if I send you the links like I usually do, because I might. But if I don't send you anything, just know that that's the reason that I'm visiting family that weekend, and we'll resume 2 weeks from today. But whether it's a week from today or 2 weeks from today, I look forward to seeing you all for the next round of Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. Bye now.